Let's now speak to former Detective Chief Superintendent at the Metropolitan Police, Kevin Hurley. Mr. Hurley, it's obviously very early on in the investigation. The suspect is still on the loose this morning. What will the police be doing to try and catch him?
Well, first of all, we're trying to identify him and what the motive of it is. You know, a rough guess, and discussing this with a former police colleague, it's almost certainly going to be a domestic-related incident, former partner, custody dispute, that kind of thing. What it will all come down to in the end is what the amount of resources that the senior police detective is allowed to allocate to this matter, because this will be solvable. You know, they've got lots of CCTV, they've got a car that's been found abandoned, they've got witness testimonies. But it's like all these matters, it comes down to what resources the police are able to allocate. So in a nutshell, find out the motive, be speaking to the unfortunate woman who suffered the worst impact of this, almost, as I say, certainly a domestic partner, but you can't rule out a random mentally disordered person, rather like the case up in Nottingham recently, dreadful case.
There will be lots of questions about that liquid. How common is it for a crime to be committed, an attack, with what tests are being done? Holly just told us the police are trying to work out exactly what that was. But a corrosive fluid, it feels like we had quite a spate of horrific attacks using some kind of form of acid. What do we know at this stage, and what kind of investigations will be underway to find out how easy it is to get a substance that can cause so much harm?
Well, the answer is to how easy it is to get a substance like that. Very easy. Buy it in the shop, distill it down a bit, and you'll get a really, if it's what you want, a terrible impact. But this is historically something that's gone on for hundreds of years. In fact, in France, 300 years ago, it was a regular means of attack. In acts of jealousy, people were called les vitrioleurs. It goes on. Offence against a person is at 1856. Brought in a specific offence of throwing corrosive fluids. So it's something that happens from time to time. It's appalling because the damage is far more probably than most people anticipated will be, particularly to people's eyesight. And the thing that people forget, to their internal breathing tracts, their bronchia and their mouth, because they breathe it in. And of course, all these people who've been injured at the scene, which is neighbours, one of whom poured some water.
Sorry to butt in for you just a moment. Just wanted to point out that the pictures that we're seeing on the screen is new footage that has emerged of what may have been happening last night. So dramatic new footage emerging of what looks like that car with the driver driving erratically down the street, people trying to stop what was going on, and really, really serious and quite dramatic pictures there. Sorry to interrupt you, Kevin, but I just wanted to give our viewers an idea of what they were watching.
Yeah, I mean, one doesn't know. Was he trying to intercept the car with the lady in it, or was he a random mentally disordered person? But to continue with that point, you know, there are many corrosive fluids out there. Car battery acid, for example, it's been quite regularly used in the past, and certainly it's a preferred means of attack. Actually, acts of jealousy in Jamaica, where people will boil down car battery acid, but it's been used in France, in the UK, and so on. Ammonia, a whole host of dreadful, dangerous chemicals that you can practically buy off the shelf.
Tests are underway to try and work out exactly what that substance was. Kevin, thank you so much for giving us a bit more context, particularly about the procedures the police will be going through now to try and identify that man who's still on the run.